Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is your online English tutor at Banky's Corner. Do well to like, share and subscribe for exciting and language and communication topics. In today's video, we are moving on to another exciting topic called idioms. So let's quickly look at what idiom is all about. Idiom is as old as language itself. We make use of it in our day-to-day conversation. But it requires learning. It requires that you know the meaning so that you don't sound confused when you are making conversation or you are having a conversation with people. So what is idiom? Idioms are regarded to as special words, group of words, which are fixed with special meaning, whose meaning cannot be understood literally. These are fixed group of words whose meaning cannot be understood from the surface meaning. It requires skill, it requires knowing and learning what this group of words are. So in today's video, we'll be looking at some of the 10 commonly used idioms that people make use of in their day-to-day speeches or conversation, and learning some tips, giving you some tips that will help you to learn faster and to be more accurate in the usage of idiom. So let's look at the first tip in learning idiom. The first tip I have here is start by learning the commonly used idioms. Start by learning the commonly used idiom. What do I mean by that? That means start with the ones that are very easy to learn. Make use of them in your conversation. It will help you, and as you know the commonly used one, you are able to move on to the not so common idioms. Let's look at these idioms that seems common. People make use of them to express themselves. And one thing about idiom is it makes you sound creative, not just being creative, natural in your speech. It makes you to be natural in your conversation. Now let's look at number one idiom here. It says to make hay while the sun shines. What does it mean? It means to take advantage of situation, to take advantage of favorable situation. It is well said. This idiom is commonly used when you are, especially for students, especially for learners, especially when it's exam period. You hear teachers telling the learners, you have to make hay while the sun shines. Not necessarily going outside and getting the sunshine, no, but doing things when it ought to be done. Making use of the appropriate time, appropriate timing in reading, appropriate self-study, attending lectures and all that. So people say it, please don't waste your time, make hay while the sun shines. So you take advantage. When you use that, you sound natural. Another commonly used idiom here is a red letter day. A red letter day. It means a memorable day, a day you'll never forget. Let's take a party, for example. You're at a party and you are trying to tell the other party of how the occasion was. So you tell, this party was a red letter day. It amused you. What makes it memorable? Maybe the party itself, the gathering of people, the food, and all that. So a red letter day means a memorable day. Another commonly used idiom here is once in a blue moon. What does it mean? It means it happens very rarely. Situation happens very rarely, an occasion or anything. It might be anything. It happens very rarely. Another one here is burn the midnight candle. What does it mean to burn the midnight candle? To pay the price to attain a particular target, to pay the price to attain a particular target, to achieve something. You have a goal you intend to achieve, and you have to stay all night. Not just all night, put in so much effort to achieve that particular goal. So work late into the night. Another idiom commonly used here is a blessing in disguise. A blessing in disguise. Something that seems bad but turns out to be good. A situation that seems actually bad. Looking at it from the literary aspect, this situation is so bad, I can't take it. But literally, actually is a blessing in disguise, and so it's not commonly used. People say it a lot. Oh, it's just a blessing in disguise. Don't worry. At the end, you smile. So the sixth one is let the cat out of the bag. What does it mean? It means to reveal a secret accidentally. To reveal a secret accidentally. Remember I said idioms are fixed words with special meaning, and this meaning cannot be gotten from the surface level. So when you let the cat out of the bag, it means to reveal a secret accidentally. So let's move on to the next one. It says to bite the bullet. What does it mean? To do something difficult or unpleasant. To bite the bullet means to do something difficult or unpleasant. The eighth one is under the weather. Under the weather, it means to feeling sick. To feel sick under the weather. You can see when you say such expression, you don't have to explain too much. That's one of the beauty of using idioms. You don't have to say too much. A group, 2 to 3 words explains yourself further, but you need to understand it. So feel free and begin to make use of your idioms when speaking. It makes your speeches, your conversation creative and natural at its form, its highest form. Break the ice. Break the ice. What does it mean? It means to start a conversation. It means to start a conversation. Everywhere is quiet. People are waiting for who to speak first. Start a conversation by breaking the ice. You know that ice, when you talk about ice, strong, solid in its form. So when you break it, that means you've achieved something. So hit the nail on the head is the 10th one. What does it mean? To describe something perfectly. To describe something perfectly. When you hit the nail on the head, that shows that you are accurate, you're authentic, you know what you're doing. So these 10 commonly used idioms, when you start with it, it will help you to grow, make your conversation smooth. Not just that, it makes it natural. Like I said, start using your idioms from the ones that are known. You know, in learning, you move from the known to the unknown. The second tip I will be talking about here is learn to learn idioms in context. Learn to learn idioms in context. Until you use idioms in context, you may not really get the meaning. For example, hit the nail on the head. Put them in sentence. Use them in sentence. Hit the nail on the head. When the argument was going on, the speaker had to step in by hitting the nail on the head. That means they had to go straight to the point. He had to tell the group members listening, hey, we don't have to waste time. Let's move ahead and meet the targets and forget about the situation. When you use them in context, you learn more about idioms. Another tip here is use visual aids and stories. Use visual aids and stories. We have so many apps that does that. Make use of visual aids. Your visual aids, you can even decide to write it on the board. Make use of them. Use them in context. And also read stories. You know, you can never take away communication. You can never take away reading from communication, achieving communication skill. Reading is a crucial skill that helps us in our thinking, not just thinking in a conversation. So learn to read stories, read magazines, listen to stories, watch movies, operas is being used. The creatives, those in the creative world, in the creative circle, they make use of that a lot. You don't have to express everything in your heart. Just a group of words as idiom gives you your full expression that you need for those who understand it anyway. So the fourth one is practice using idioms in conversations. It's related to what I said earlier. Practice by using your idioms in conversation. When you make use of your idioms in conversation, it helps you. Practice is key to learning idioms. That's just the truth. It's a natural part of your conversation. It's a natural part of making use of them. How do you learn? By using them in your daily conversation. Use them in your daily sentences. Use them in your daily words that you speak. Use idioms in conversation. It helps you to master it quickly. The last tip here is be patient with yourself. The last tip here is to test yourself regularly. You have to test yourself regularly. Am I actually making progress? Let's say, for instance, you have a list of words of idioms to be used. You've used two today. Have I really used them appropriately? Have I used them accurately? Then you move on to using two, three, four per day. So by testing yourself, you can also match idioms with words to get the meaning. You look up for them. There are so many apps, language apps these days. You can learn anything. So additional tip is you have to be patient with yourself. Life requires patience. You have to be patient with this. Practice, they say, gives you the perfect world that you need. So you stay curious. Stay curious. Look up for any meaning. Anytime you come across any idiom, check up for the meaning and add it to your bucket list. Add it to your list of idioms that you already have in your possession. Practice daily. Consistency is the key to learning any language. I always preach that on my channel. Consistency is the key to learning any language. Remember, it makes your speeches creative. That is, making use of idioms makes your speeches creative. It makes yourself, it makes you to express yourself creatively and add color to your speech and writing. Remember, it's not only speaking and speaking, in your writing, you make use of it. It adds color to what you're saying and to what others are reading. That which you have written, it makes it colorful. In conclusion, learning idioms can be an exciting topic. It can be an exciting journey by starting with common idioms, learning them in context, using visuals, and practicing daily. Such an exciting journey for you. When you test yourself regularly too, it makes you better in your conversation. Remember, the goal is not just learning idioms, but to make use of them naturally in your English. The goal is not just learning, is to make use of them. Practice them, use them in your day-to-day conversation, both in speaking and in writing. So, are you ready to break the ice of idioms? Let's go and start making use of these idioms every day. If you have additional idioms, commonly used idioms, please let me know in the comment section. I would love to have an interaction with you. Remember to like, to share, and to subscribe to my channel for exciting language skill topics. So keep learning and keep learning and keep being the best in everything that requires the language and learning. Keep learning and keep being the best in whatever you do, especially in your language skill. Bye.